Welcome back, and today we're talking about Higurashi When They Cry, episode 14. So like always, let's just jump into it. Higurashi is finally back. I believe they were out for about 2 weeks. I'm guessing it's because of the holidays and vacation time. Great. Everybody needs to take some time off and spend time with their family. But now that Higurashi is back, I mean, it came back with a bang. We got to see exactly what happened after episode 13, whenever Keiichi fought Satoko's uncle. It was a big fight, but we later found out that essentially Rika, Shino, Mion, everybody was killed by Oichi, the detective. And this episode, starting off right off the bat, it was absolutely crazy. It was bloody. It was a massacre. It was pretty bad. Now, before we jump into what happened in this episode, let me remind you to like and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel out. And of course, I greatly appreciate it. But let's talk about Higurashi because dang, this episode, we learned so much about what's going on with this world, about the loops. We actually got a lot of information, a lot of answers that I have been looking forward to getting them for a very, very long time. Now, there's still some mystery around this world, right? For example, in the beginning of the episode, whenever Oichi came in, he said he knew the secret. He was kind of scratching his neck. It was like really bloody. And we know that Satoko's uncle, he also did the same thing. So my theory right now is that they were affected by the curse. That will be my only explanation right now. We see that Oichi, whenever he was like, hitting Rika, he was asking her to talk. He was asking her to tell him the secret of the Oyashiro curse. So there's still a big mystery behind that. But once Rika was killed, we see that she went to another dimension and was talking to a character named Hanyu. And this character, it seems to be in control of this other dimension, and it seems to be giving power to Rika, right? Because she was able to remember who was the person that killed her in this world. And we see that Rika, I'm guessing she's going to be like the main character of this series because she's the one that's looping through time or having to relive her deaths over and over and over. She's been doing it for 100 years. What a horrible fate. I mean, it's definitely messed up. I do feel bad for Rika and everything that she's going through, right? Because at the end of the day, she's still a little kid. While yes, you could technically say she's been living for like 100 years, it's still messed up that a kid has to go through this. I cannot wait to find out more about Rika because even though I feel bad for her with everything that's going on in this anime, you never know who the evil character might be. We know that Rina, she's done some messed up things. We know Mion, Shion, one of them could have potentially done some messed up things. We just don't know who's the villain, who's the hero or anything like that with this anime. And that's something that I absolutely love because we just don't know. Heck, even Keiichi, if you remember back in episode 1, Keiichi, he was killing, it was either Mion or Shion. We don't know exactly who it was, but yeah, everybody here is definitely done some messed up things, and I can't wait till this whole mystery is resolved. Now, the biggest part in this whole episode was definitely whenever Hanyu was talking to Rina and telling her that there is a sword that can essentially kill a looper. And when we see Rina kind of talking to Hanyu and saying, well, which looper am I supposed to kill? I honestly just knew that it meant for her to kill herself so she would stop, looping around all these different worlds so she can be at peace, right? Because again, going through what Rina is going through, it's definitely tough. And I'm guessing like the other families, that the main families have the same ability. So I'm guessing Mion, Shion, Rika, all of them have the same ability, and that's what she was referring to whenever she said other loopers. So I can't wait to get their side of the story, if they're talking to like the same Hanyu person, or maybe it's another being. Again, we got answers, but we also have a lot of other questions that we need to ask, and I cannot wait to find out about them. I mean, hopefully it's going to be a good plot twist, a good reveal, and hopefully it's satisfying because there's nothing worse than building up a great reveal and then just not delivering on it. It's gonna suck if it does. But we see that at the end of the episode, whenever Rina was looking for the sword that would essentially allow her to end everything, end the loop, at the very least for her, she had very intentional plans. I mean, heck, even whenever Satoko was saying, let's go play hide and seek with everybody, Rina didn't want to go. She's definitely been thinking about this. We know that Rina is definitely like, she's over it. She's been doing this for 100 years. She wanted to stop, and she's going to give it 5 more tries. Whenever she went to look at the sword, I honestly felt bad because after finding the truth about Rina and everything that she's going through, I was like, man, she really does need a break. You know what I mean? Like, just going through this, I can't even imagine it. And whenever she lifted up the statue and the sword was not there, big surprise, right? Like, I just felt so bad for Rina. But the question also is, where's the sword, the full sword? Somebody took it out. My guess, it will be somebody that's involved with the history of this town, somebody that knows about the Oyashiro curse, and they know that that sword is able to essentially end a looper, however Rina calls them, right? So maybe one of the other characters that we met already has it. Maybe Shion, Mion, one of those, maybe Rina. One of them probably has the sword, or maybe an entirely different character that we haven't met yet. And again, once we find that sword, I'm sure it's going to be a huge deal, and it's going to be awesome. So Rina is going to give it 5 more loops. She's going to try 5 more times because she was able to find a piece of that sword. So if she doesn't accomplish her goal of essentially breaking the curse, getting away from the town, and not having to loop over and over and over again and have like a happy life, grow old and stuff like that, she's going to give it 5 more chances. We'll see where it goes. My guess, she's not going to succeed. We'll see. She's going to be using Keiichi. It seems to me like Keiichi is the one that has the power to change fate. We see Rina reference this multiple times. And I'm kind of wondering, is Keiichi like something that came out just recently? Because if she's done this for 100 years, does that mean that Keiichi was not in those like 95 years or maybe 105? Because I know whenever she was talking to Hanyu, Rina mentioned that, you know, the last 5 years of this loop, it's been a little different. That Rina has been, you know, her spirits have been racing. Has it been around 5 years that Keiichi's been in her loop? Maybe that's the case, and that's why she's been working with Keiichi, trying different things to try to change her fate. Rina, she definitely wants to change her fate, because being looped around so many deaths, especially the way, if she's being killed the way that is happening in this episode every time, definitely traumatic stuff. I would definitely be on her side if she wants to end the loop, because nobody deserves to go through that, especially at the age that Rina was at whenever this whole thing started. Really curious to know how everything is going to go. Hopefully we start getting more answers as the episodes go. I don't know exactly how many episodes this anime is going to get. I believe it's going to be like 24, 25, something along those lines, maybe 40. I think the original was 40 plus episodes. I don't remember too much about that one, but I think this one is only going to be like 24, 25 episodes. If that's the case, we're like halfway there. And we'll see how it ends. I can't wait. Hopefully we keep getting them answers, because I really hate when it gets dragged on for way too many times. We got a lot of answers in this episode, and I'm quite happy. Love this episode. I cannot wait for episode 15. But let me know in the comments how'd you like this episode. And like always, make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.